This is 2 Corinthians 2 and verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. All right, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashum, Yahushua, Ba'ashum, Rugach, Wadash, the ones of the apostles, the ones of the elders, a great millstone, Ruel, and touch his truth. Much respect to you brothers out there as preaching his word in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of earth. Tabernacle David, hopefully like the speckled bird. Shalom, shalom, shalom. All right, I'm going to play part of the brother's video, and we're going to come back with some scriptures. All right, shalom.
It's something in your body did what?
Nah, the material, put it like this, the material using my body to stab the lady.
And so she just got stabbed.
Yeah. You know that's not me. I'm talking about just for no reason. But since they did that, now they got to investigate the material my body is exposed to. Since they want to do all that, now they got to investigate.
It's funny because she's from the Ukraine. She's from Russia, and you know they got a war. They had a war going on against the United States. So I'm just trying to understand, out of all people, why her?
That's hey, it ain't. I don't have nothing. They just lashed out on her. That's what happened. They lashed out on her. Whoever was working the material, whoever was working the material, they lashed out on her.
For far too long, Americans have been forced to put up with Democrat-run cities that set loose savage, bloodthirsty criminals to prey on innocent people, really very, very innocent people. In every place, they control radical left judges, politicians, and activists, and they've adopted a policy of catch and release for thugs and killers. In Charlotte, North Carolina, we saw the results of these policies when a 23-year-old woman who came here from Ukraine met her bloody end on a public train. And here's a picture of it. This is the picture of it. And this is a picture of the woman, a beautiful young girl that never had problems in life, with a magnificent future in this country. And now she's dead. She was slaughtered by a deranged monster who was roaming free after 14 prior arrests. We cannot allow a depraved criminal element of violent repeat offenders to continue spreading destruction and death throughout our country. We have to respond with force and strength. We have to be vicious just like they are. It's the only thing they understand. 24 of the top 25 most dangerous cities in America are run by Democrat mayors. 50 people were murdered in Chicago in recent weeks, with hundreds being shot. And it's time to stop this madness. The people of our country need to insist on protection, safety, law, and order. We have proven that it can be done because we did it right here in D.C., in District of Columbia. The capital of America was a bloodthirsty, horrible, dangerous place, one of the worst. And now it's a crime-free city, and we're going to keep it that way. It can be done. It can happen fast. All we want is, please, Mr. President, we need help. Chicago needs help. Other cities need help. We'll do what has to be done because we're going to make America safe again, and that includes our big cities. We're going to make those cities safe. Thank you.
All right, shalom, we back. And, just my take on it. As a brother had said in his lesson, you got all these movies depicting these people that go under MK Ultra, right? Look that stuff up, right? MK Ultra, or actually get hacked by the micro C-HIP. They had plenty of movies on it. It was one a couple years ago, which I think was on Tubi, if I'm not mistaken. I forget the name of it. I think it was Implanted or something like that. Slaki is escaping me at the moment. But they have so many movies like that. There was another big one that came out a couple years ago where at the end of the movie, he was taking over. Damn, I can't think of that movie's name. Damn it. But, hey, you know, I thought it was a pretty good movie. You know, Yahweh Ratazar gets, you know, comes back to me, or however I edit the video, might insert it. But yeah, that movie Implanted, if I'm not mistaken, that's what it was called. You know, the woman was homeless, if I remember correctly, and she, you know, going through the trials, you know, they was going to pay her money, and to find out, you know, if she didn't do what the AI told her to do, right? She didn't move correctly, she would get hurt. You know, she was pretty much not in control of her own emotions. And also she was in pain, right? She was in pain. The scriptures speak about that. Matter of fact, I'm going to get that real quick. Scriptures speak about that. See, Revelation, I believe it's 16:2. Yeah, let me highlight that. All right, Revelation 16:2. And the first went out and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men who had the mark of the beast, and upon them who worship his image. Right? You get that micro C-hip, you're going to get cancer. And in that movie, you know, old girl wasn't doing too good. You know? They have also shown it with many of animals that they have tagged, you know, a lot of these dogs as well, dogs and cats that will get the micro C-hip in them, and they don't live as long. Why? Because your body is not made to have that machinery in it, right? So yeah, you're extra through if you get this thing. But we also seen within, you know, some of the stories that's coming out with the micro C-hip, hey, this healed me. Hey, I got my vision back. Hey, I'm not paralyzed anymore. You know? So it all remains to be seen if this had actually happened, because actual schizophrenic individuals, if you ever been around them, which which those are demons that are plaguing their minds, right? Those are demons, right? Regardless if it was the MOTB, all right, the Michael C-hip, or the demons, what we are seeing being played right before our very eyes, right? Jake is being the scapegoat, right? Jake is being the scapegoat with all the wickedness that Esau Edom commits. Jake is being the scapegoat, right? You seeing with the Epstein files, Trump is like, nah, you know, those things don't exist. You know, it's all hoax. You know what I'm saying? It's fake news, right? Don't believe it. You've done all this wickedness. But, you know, out of all the murders, you choose to use Jake and the stereotypical Edomite woman that looks all innocent and stuff. The scriptures speak of no one perishes being innocent. But anyways, you know, they use that as a backdrop to, hey, we need to go after these people. The stage is being set for them to go after you, Jake. And then you got a whole bunch of Jakes over there. I've seen some of the videos, you know, how Trump has said, you know, they're going to find out why this is the Department of War. You know, and the scriptures speak of that. The accuser of thy brother, right? They went to make war with the saints, just roughly paraphrasing the scriptures. They went to make war, right? We seen that played out. And then you got Jake over there. If I haven't said it already, you know, hey, we got switches and stuff. We ain't scared. Hey, we gonna see, right? Because I had a dream about Jacob's trouble a few years ago, right? Hey, Jake got up arms. You know, Esau Edom had his military. Jake may have, got one or two, but other than that, they got wiped clean. They ate that to the face. They got wiped out. But I want to get this scripture, for those that have been around, schizophrenia people or seen them. Those are clearly demons that are plaguing them, But once again, the stage is being set, they're disregarding, that's part of Esau Edom's science. He wants to call it a condition, a medical condition instead of calling it what it really is, Those are demons plaguing their minds. But with them saying that, with them seeing that, they still want to portray this individual as dangerous, regardless. Hey, from what I've seen, if he's been in and out of jail 14 times, what about you Edomites, man? Y'all be doing a whole bunch of wickedness and say, oh, he has a medical condition. He grew up in the rough times. He had a heart, You do that for the Edomite, but when it comes to Jake, oh, no. Well, the scriptures say they are not plagued as other men. They're not in Slakia. They're not in trouble as other men, right? But I'm gonna get this though, covering the demon aspect, part of, the Lord's judgment. Class of scripture, Sirach 39 verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of the destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. You see, no one perished being innocent. The Lord has these spirits of vengeance out here doing the Lord's work. So, rather it was Esau, Edom, or just the spirit of the Lord, regardless, is controlled by the Lord. This is the Lord's movie. Regardless, the left hand or the right hand side, right? This is the Lord's movie. The Lord, man's going to the Lord. The Lord had that individual commit that murder, right? This is the Lord's plan. As you read, fire, hell, famine, and death, all these were created for vengeance, right? And as we see, this is being used as a scapegoat to go after you tribes, right? You're wicked, you're dangerous, you're monkeys, right? You know how the Edomite speaks about us, which he's really projecting. He's really projecting. When he says all this wickedness about you Jakes, you tribes, he's really projecting, saying it about himself. He's the monkey. He's the wicked. He's dangerous. He needs to be locked up in a cage, right? But anyways, teeth of wild beasts, scorpions, serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. This is being used as a scapegoat to eventually to go after you other tribes, right? Southern Kingdom as well. And Jake is going to get it. Jake is going to get it. Jake is going to be punished to destruction, right? And I get this right here too, right? Sirach 39 verse 24, as his ways are plain unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked, right? The wicked can't see it. The wicked doesn't foresee the evil and hide himself, right? What's going on? Slakia, what's going on? These prophecies popping up, right? Everything that's going down right before our very eyes is playing into the holy. Hey, bruh, we in the last days of the last days, but Jake ain't seen it. Jake is probably like, oh, snap, they went crazy. Oh, conspiracy theory, you know what I'm saying? Nah, this is being used to go against you, Jakes, man. The accuser of thy brother, man. He's always been like that. This man never had no patience. He sold his birthright. And he has a perpetual hatred towards you, Jakes, man. Jake is just always on his mind. Jake don't even be thinking about this nigga. And You know, he's always hating on the tribes, man. Always. Let's see. Verse 25, for the good are good things created from the beginning, and evil things for the sinners. You see, we're coming into we're going to see Jake get destroyed, man. Jake get jacked up. Esau eat him too. Hey, Esau about to get jacked up too, right? The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour, wheat, honey, milk, and blood of grapes, and oil and clothing. You know, no particular order or fashion. You know, hey, these are some of the things in which we use in our day-to-day life to live, right? But check this. All these things are good to the godly, right? The godly, the men of the Lord, the hopeful elect is going to be blessed in the time of trouble, right? We're going to be taken care of. We're going to have our yun, our drinks, our, you know, protection, you know, clothing, you know, shelter over our heads. Yah Razazah, we of those men. But check this. So to the sinners, they are turned into evil, right? You about to see Jake go crazy out here in Jacob's trouble, right? The famine is going to come, right? In that order out of chaos, hey, you want to get out of chaos. You want your situation better, right? Hey, take the sea hip, right? Numbers 23 and verse 23, surely there is no enchantment against Jacob, neither is there any divination against Israel. According to this time, it shall be said of Jacob, of Israel, what have God wrought? So there's no enchantment against Jacob, right? The hopeful elect can see the play in which is being played right before our very eyes. This is playing into the holy. This is playing upon tables. Slakia. Romans 9 and verse 6. Not as though the word of power have taken none effect, for they are not all Israel, which is of Israel. And Christians, you know, stumble upon this scripture, you know, because the next verse, it speaks of, in Isaac thy seed shall be called. Well, who got the blessing through Isaac, right? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? The 12 tribes. But getting this verse, right? You have the 2/3 and the elect, right? The 2/3 and the elect. And the 2/3 are not getting it. The 2/3 are going to be destroyed. The 2/3 can't see what's over the horizon, man. They don't understand the prophecies. They're looking to their pastor and, you know, believing everything they see on TV. You know, hey, this is going to be the Holy Roman Empire, you know, 2.0 again. Nah, nigga, nah. This place is about to go bye-bye, man. Let's see. This is 2 Thessalonians 2. I believe it's KJV. I believe I have the NLT as well. Yeah, I had the NLT as well. Right. 2 Thessalonians 2 and verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that a man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Right. And you have the big noses, the issues, right? They'll say, we have records, we have paperwork. Come on now. Saying we have always known that we are the people of the Lord, but through prophecy and through this last captivity, which we have always known throughout our other captivities, who we were, in this last captivity, we have fell away from the truth. We don't know who we are. Call ourselves niggas, spicks, and spittles, man. You know? Jake is going by all these other bywords, which are within the curses, which was pronounced to happen unto us if we fell away from Yahweh our power, right? But once again, you have these big noses saying, hey, we've always known. Nah. But check this. Who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called power or that is worship, so that he as power sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God, right? This is what he do. I'm God. He wants to be like the Most High. That's why he's implementing the MOTB. That's why he has his little AI, his hackers. Matter of fact, it may be up here because I was supposed to do a lesson. On it, right? Let me see this. I'm gonna open this.
If you're an American, you've been probably seeing a whole bunch of these things.
Fair use. This is supposed to be a separate lesson that I wanted to get into. But as you saw above, the fourth industrial revolution is being happened right before our very eyes, right? With the MOTB and the AI, and able to track your every movements. This is what this video goes into. Like I said, this is supposed to be a separate video, which I made, everything is through the Spirit.
And in some places, they're so common that you don't even notice them. They just blend into the background like they're trees or streetlights. And you've probably correctly assumed that they're recording traffic. They're also...
Hold on. I'm going to speed up the video just a little bit, just in case.
recording and logging license plates and using AI image recognition. But what if I told you that they are in fact not owned by your local police department or your local government, but are licensed to them by a third-party startup? And all of your vehicle's whereabouts are being tracked by a third-party data broker. What if I also told you that major retail chains are also using them, and they're combining your vehicle's whereabouts with your personal information, your shopping habits, and even your in-store behavior? And some of them are giving that information to law enforcement. And what if I told you that I just possibly may have come up with a way to break it?
But yeah, you go into this video, Jake is being tracked. You have Northern Kingdom. They'll go to Home Depot. They're picking up some supplies. They're trying to live an honest living, because Issachar be going in. Hey, all of Jake be going in, but, Issachar be going in, be working hard, as the scriptures, speak of in his spirit, he is hired, right? And then law enforcement pick him up, throw him into an internment camp. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, we need to get out of here. We need to get out of here. All the tribes are eventually going to get jacked up, man. This is what we're seeing right before our very, very eyes, man. With that individual, stabbing that particular lady, rather he was a Manchurian candidate, or, his mind was plagued by demons. Regardless, the stage is being set for you tribes to get it, right? And the video that I just showed, also shows, as Kel Swab said, we want this place more like China. You got to be more like China. You got all video cameras everywhere. Know your whereabouts. Damn it. I did a lesson on it the other day. Wonder if it's in here. Damn it. It's like it. I didn't forgot what it's called, but it's Manual Solutions, something like that. Good. It's down here. Once again, I did Paragon Solutions, right? They're able to hack your phone. If brothers ever find out, they're having trouble uploading videos, which that can be part of YouTube as well. They see the truth, but, they trying to, be like the Most High, know all your whereabouts, know your thoughts, know where you're at, hack your phone, they ain't got to get a arrest warrant to track you, to track your phone, track what you're doing. This is hell, man. This is not the life that you should want to live in, man. All right, Salagi about that. I probably had it. Anyways, let's get back to it. This is 2 Thessalonians 2 and let's see. So that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and know you And now ye know what withholdeth that he might be revealed in this time. He's being revealed in this time that he is the devil that the Bible speaks of. He is, pretty much Satan's counterpart, as Jacob is the Most High's counterpart, right? For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Right? The mouth of the prophets revealing him. Telling him he going down, and our big brother Yahushua coming through and having him eat it to the face, man. Esau Edom about to get jacked up. Right? But anyways, I'm going to get this in the NLT. Verse 5. Do you remember that I told you about all this when I was with you? And ye know what is holding him back, for he can be revealed only when his time comes. For this lawlessness, right? This man is all about lawlessness. He puts good for evil and evil for good, right? Everything is turned upside down. He doesn't obey his own laws, right? His own laws is only for the people, not himself. Lawlessness is already at work secretly. You see, they're already moving behind the scenes. They're doing so many things behind the scenes, right? They got these Manchurian candidates. They got these MK Ultra people, rather they get the MOTB. Once again, art imitates life. They already have the MOTB out there. Don't be surprised if, it's actually true that, he was hacked, as they say, humans are hacked, humans are going to become hackable, right? Especially with the MOTB, they're hackable, right? Anyways, where was I at? It's already at work secretly, and it remains secret until the one who is holding it back steps out of the way. Then the man of lawlessness will be revealed, but the Lord Yahushua will slay him with the breath of his mouth and destroy him with the splendor of his coming. You see, he's going to be revealed, and our big brother Yahushua about to do damage to this man. And he's being revealed by the prophets. His own people is telling on him as well. The own tongue shall fall upon themselves, right? This man will come to the work of Satan with counterfeit power and signs and miracles. You see how we would do that with the MOTB. As I said earlier, you got the people that took that thing. Oh, I got my eyesight back. It was once paralyzed. Oh, I can move again. Right? This is why these Christians believe, the Antichrist is some, magical, powerful demon as a human that's going to be on. No. The scriptures speak of there's more than one Antichrist. And anti-Mashiach just means you're against this truth. So you Christians are against this truth. You're anti-Mashiachs. You are the true Antichrist. But anyways, getting to it. This is talking about Esau Edom, the so-called white man, doing his miracles with his science, with his MOTB, right? His God, technology and science, right? This man will come to do the work of Satan with, we already read that. He will use every kind of evil deception to fool those on their way to destruction because they refuse to love and accept the truth which will save them. You see? Jake is going to be out here confused. Jake is going to be fooled, right? But as I read earlier, this is playing upon tables, right? The elect can see it. We're not ignorant of Satan's devices. So power will cause them to be greatly deceived. You see, they're going to be greatly deceived by these things. They're just going to think, oh man, this is just something that happened, man. You know, old boy just went crazy. He said to himself, this is not myself. This is not who I am. So rather it was the demons, or rather it was the MOTB, regardless, this was the plan of the Lord. And regardless, this is being set up to go after you, Jakes. They will believe these lies. Then they will be condemned, Salakia. Then they will be condemned for enjoying evil rather than believing the truth. You see that? So they're going to be condemned for enjoying evil, right? And as I read earlier, how the elect is going to be taken care of, right? You know, the food, the wine, you know, shelter, all that's going to be turned into evil. But to the elect, hey, we're going to be doing good. Anyways, Psalm 64 and verse 1, hear my voice, O power, in my prayer. Preserve my life and fear of the enemy, because we're going to need it. Preserve us, Yahweh Razah. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Right? We're going to need that protection. Because this man, he got cameras everywhere. He can hack anything. He's going to put us in an evil light. Scriptures say he is the accuser of thy brother. Right? Who whet their tongues like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, right? That they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. You see, they're coming against us. They put Jake in a bad light, right? They encourage themselves in an evil manner. They commune and laying snares, you see? They lay down snares to get at you. This is a snare to get at you, Jakes. They're coming for you. They say, who shall see them? Psalms 37 and verse 12 in the NLT. I'll probably get this and close out. The wicked plot against the godly. They snarl at them in defiance. You see, they plot against the godly. They have their plans, whether he's a Manchurian candidate or a demon. They're not going to let this go to waste, right? But the Lord just laughs, for he sees their day of judgment coming. And we should do that as well, right? Didn't the Lord say King David was a man after his own heart? We should be in the same spirit. We see them plotting. We see them trying to trap up Jake. Hey, we should laugh. Hey, man. Hey, go ahead and do what you're doing, bro. Because, hey, the table's going to be turned onto you. Right? The wicked draw their swords and string their bows to kill the poor and oppress. You see, they're going to use this to come after you, Jakes, to kill the poor and oppress. Right? To slaughter those who do right. Because ultimately, this is to come at the men of the Lord. They're trying to find some type of loophole to supersede the prophecies and the scriptures. Well, maybe we get rid of the men of the Lord. Maybe we type in this formula. Nah. Your calculations are wrong. You know? Actually, your calculations are right. No amount of a formula, no amount of times table, right? It keeps showing that you're fighting a losing battle no matter what you do. So, you know, you're going to have a tantrum. You're going to be a big baby, a big sore loser, instead of taking it to the chin, which you understood the scriptures, some of it at least. You understand that you Edomites, instead of being righteous, right, ruling this kingdom in righteousness, right, you chose wickedness, which you can't help. You know, actually, you can't even help that. Man's going to the Lord. You're that lump of clay that's fitted for destruction. You can't help being wicked. So You're done. Right? To slaughter those who do right, but their swords will stab their own hearts. The tables are going to be reversed. Their bows shall be broken. It is better to be godly than have a little than to be evil and rich. Right? The little that you have, don't envy the wicked and all the greatness which they have, their consolation which they have. Right? Understand that it's a temporary blessing, and the blessing that you have in store for you is going to be forever. Righteousness, power, being the next judges and kings of the earth. That true praise of men in the kingdom. You don't want that praise of men here in Babylon the Great. Right? You want to, if it may be, men commend you on your wisdom. But other than that, you don't want that praise of men as you see out there in the world. Right? For the strength of the wicked shall be shattered, but the Lord takes care of the godly. You see? The wicked is going to be shattered. Touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm. Come against the men of the Lord, see what's going to happen to you, man. That standard is going to be lifted up. Day by day, the Lord takes care of the innocent. Right? We're going to remain blameless. Wasn't Yahushua blameless? Pilate was like, what am I supposed to do? This man hasn't committed any crimes. This man hasn't done any wickedness. That's how the elect is in the Lord's eyes. Right? But this time, the Lord, hey, protection is going to be out to the righteous, man. We do understand some of the righteous is going to be taken out. But you just got to have faith in the Lord that, whatever is brought unto you, you take it cheerfully, And that, Yahweh Radazah, either way, you're going to get the glory, honor, and praise. And the Lord going to take care of you, right? But anyways, and they will receive an inheritance that lasts forever. You see, that's why you're not supposed to be envious of the wicked. They will not be disgraced in hard times. Even in famine, they will have more than enough, but the wicked will die, you see. The Lord going to take care of his men, take care of his elect. But the wicked 2/3 are going to die, Esau, Edom. I keep saying it, man, but he going to eat it to the face. All right, Yahweh Radazah is an edifying lesson. I got to close out. Shalom, shalom.